sprouts as they mature or seasonally as their coats thicken. And finally, again, over to the left-hand side, you might have seen a little guy with a white belly. That was not a deer. That was one of our black buck antelope. The black buck antelope are the smallest antelope species in Asia and are sexually dimorphic, meaning males and females do not resemble each other in the wild. Now, folks, this hunt we're coming up on tells a fascinating conservation story regarding the Barasingha deer, and I've got that story for you guys right here. In 1970, there were estimated to be only 66 Barasingha deer remaining in central India. But this population was saved by the cooperation of the local Indian community. Like the shacks you see here, there were many small farms usually situated in and around India's Kanha National Park. These people were coming into contact with the deer and the tigers that were also living there. Through cooperation with the Indian government, local communities agreed to relocate their villages. By moving, the farmers still had land to farm, but the tigers and their prey got more room to roam. So folks, as we round this bend, I have the very pleasure to introduce you in a moment to our herd of Mongolian wild horses. It looks like our herd has migrated to the the right-hand side. We're going to catch up to them in just a moment. Now, if you guys look all the way to the right, you're going to see one of our horses walking up toward the hill. The rest of them, I think, are on the right-hand side. We'll catch up to them in a moment. Now, Mongolian wild horses were actually extinct in nature for quite some time, found in captivity. However, there have been several successful reintroductions of this animal to the wild in China and Mongolia, thanks to herds that were raised in North America as well as various Asian steppes. Now, alright guys, if everyone looks to the extreme right-hand side, I'll be passing the horses in just a moment. When you do see them, you might be noticing several visual and I may add genetic differences between a Mongolian wild horse and a domestic horse you may see on a farm. Mongolian wild horses are shorter in stature, on the hills as well, folks, with a stockier build and shorter legs, and also features the erect mane that's missing the forelock. And for those of you who are not familiar with that terminology, forelock references a piece of hair that falls directly over the forehead and eye of a domestic horse, so these guys aren't practicing that feature. Captive breeding of this animal first occurred in 1901 with a group of 28 horses. However, we here at the zoo acquired our herd in 1902 and have maintained that herd ever since that point in time. So these guys are descendants from horses we got over 100 years ago. And if everyone looks to the fence line, you're going to see a little guy, that is Marin, our 2.5-month-old baby Mongolian wild horse right behind the train. They have a long and fascinating history dating back over 20,000 years. Mongolian wild horses come from rock and race baby. Dating back 20,000 years. And the first written accounts were from Tibet, sometime around 900 AD. But these horses remained largely unknown and unnamed to the Western world for many years. During an expedition to Central Asia in 1879, a famous Russian explorer and naturalist, Colonel Nikolai Przewalski, encountered the horse in western Mongolia. Because of his discovery, this species is also known as Przewalski's horse. Now, folks, we're just about into our Angkor Forest, which is home to two of our endangered species here at the Bronx Zoo, the brow antler deer and the gaur. So my suggestion to everyone would be to look to the back fence line and follow your eyes to the right as we proceed into the enclosure. If you do so, if you guys look all the way to the right, you're going to see some tan-colored deer way in the back along the back fence line. Those are the brow antler deer. So the brown antler deer get their name from the look of the male deer's antlers that form a curvature over the forehead and sort of resemble a large bushy eyebrow. However, guys, you're not going to have to take my word for that because it is a ladies' day out, so we're not going to see those antlers in question. They're classified as vulnerable in their native Cambodia because they consistently lose their antlers. And that's subsist on agricultural crops, which are not actually they're all along the back fence line now, folks, but if you follow your eyes all the way to the right in the clearing way in the back, you're going to see several really big, dark animals. Those are the gaur. The gaur are the largest cattle in the world, weighing in at over 2,000 pounds. They stand 6 feet at the shoulder and are about 10 feet in length. And with their impressive size and massive capability to fend off and attack from practically any animal that seeks to harm them. And as for those, have very few enemies in the wild. The gaur has actually lost their ancient habitats as well as diseases that they tend to contract when they come into contact with domestic pet species. All along the back, guys, way in the clearing. Now, folks, it is very easy to forget that the Bronx Zoo sits in the heart of an urban environment, but we're being reminded of that fact right now. The noise you're going to start to hear tiger behind you is not an animal unless you count New York City drivers. It's actually traffic on our Bronx Zoo Parkway. And this large wooden fence we have directly in front of us was built to help mitigate the noise from that traffic to allow our next animal to feel more at home and comfortable. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have been doing a wonderful job of this so far, so thank you very much. But we'll take this opportunity once again to remind each and every one of you to please remain seated with arms and legs inside the car for your safety, because once this big fence line clears, we're going to be entering our tiger's den. Alright, oh, there's our handsome gentleman, folks. If everyone looks to the center along the back fence line, you're going to see Anakin. He's walking towards the monorail right now. He's a little covered by what he is. You see him up to the left-hand side. There he goes, guys. He's walking toward the monorail now. That is Anakin, our 6-year-old, 450-pound male Siberian tiger. And if you were curious, yes, he was named for the Star Wars character. Now, Anakin actually has not reached full maturity yet. Typically, tigers are very solitary creatures in the wild and prefer to operate alone. So that's why you're only going to see Anakin in this enclosure. If we had another tiger in here with him, he'd constantly be fighting over the space. We here at the zoo, not in However, if you like to see more tigers, you want to see because I empathize with you, I suggest you visit our Tiger Mountain where we have multiple tiger foods like. Now, in the wild, the tiger will eat a variety of different animals. Now, that would be like you or me eating about 160 hamburgers in one sitting. After a meal of that size, the tiger will feed again for a number of days, and frankly, neither would you. As everyone focuses their attention in front of them to the upper right-hand side on top of the rocks, you guys are going to get a good look at the gower again. They're all hanging out up there on top of the rocks. And in this next area, if you guys look down into the foreground, you're going to see some excellent examples of India's national birds, peafowl. Males are called peacocks, and females are called peahens. Males can be identified by the long blue necks as well as the impressive back feathers that they use to present to the peahens during the mating season. Peahens can be identified by their green necks, round plumage, and black back feathers. And it might interest each and every one of you to know that
they're right there.
They get free roam and range for the entirety of the zoo property. So I encourage each and every one of you as you continue to visit us today, just take a quick look along the road. You might see a couple of them walking around next to you. Now, folks, if you can imagine a pig whose tusks run through the snout curved backward toward the eye, you may be closely imagining our Barbarossa pig, who we're going to see when we run parallel to a bamboo thicket in just a while. The Barbarossas are native to the Indonesian island of Sulawesi and have very little hair on their bodies, as well as dark pigmentation, which allows them to blend in seamlessly with their environments of mud rocks and dark-colored sediment.
Yeah.
In the first pen, our Barbarossa is down by the fence line, so he's not in the vestibuling positions. But let's see if we can find a better look at them in the second pen. No, oh my goodness, they're all down by the fence line, folks. They're not in a great position. We're just passing over them now.
So if they're not moving, they're typically hard.
Now, I know you guys might have had a tough time seeing the Barbarossa, and I
Oh, look at him right here. He's right here. Yeah.
Everyone seated, please.
Another one.
Sir, can I have you sit down, please? Thank you. I'm going to introduce you guys to...
Look, another one down here.
To make up for the Barbarossa. Here they go, guys, to the right of the pond. This is Patty and Maxine, our two Asian elements here at the Bronx Zoo. Patty and Maxine are the best of friends, are always excited together, are in their mid-40s and weigh about, well, actually over at this point, 10,000 pounds. Maintain that healthy weight, they'll eat up to 200 pounds a day and drink up to 60 gallons of water per day. In their trunks, Patty and Maxine have over 40,000 muscles. It's an incredible versatile tool. The finger-like appendage of the trunk allows them to
Wow.
They're just plucking out the water. If the girls got the notion, they could use that trunk to wrap it around a small tree and uproot it.
Yeah.
Mugrosos, pero están bonitos. Patty and Maxine this morning. They live in the lap of luxury here at the zoo. In addition to a personal pool and back scratcher, they also get weekly baths as well as pedicures from our zookeepers to ensure their feet stay nice and healthy. I'm a little jealous of it. But at this point, folks, we are going to say goodbye to Patty and Maxine, but we do have another lovely lady on the tour with you, our Indian rhinoceros. So let's see, guys, I'm going to make sure that our Indian rhino is not in her bun wallet, not on the road. Okay, guys. I think she's migrated to the right-hand side of her enclosure, which is no problem. We're going to speed up and catch up to her. Now, the Indian rhinoceros is a highly endangered species with only about... Oh, wait a minute. Nope, that's not her. With only about 2,000
Oh, ella cruza. La pendeja
Currently,
cruza.
we here at the Bronx Zoo endangered rhinos have had 11 calves born recently, with the most recent birth having occurred in the summer of 2013. Now, folks caring for creatures such as Callie is one thing, that is her name, Callie, but breeding is a whole other playing field. So my mom from the turkey you guys might find this interesting. The female rhinoceros is pregnant for 16 months.
Wow.
Being pregnant for nearly a year and a half, they'll give birth to a bundle of joy weighing anywhere between 100 and 150 pounds.
Shit.
There you are, sweetie. Okay, everyone. If you peek through the trees, you're going to see in the middle of the mud what looks like a rock with ears. That is Callie taking a bit of a mud bath.
Se llama Cali.
Oh, she's poking her head up so she can see you guys. There she goes.
The back of the chain.
Hi,
stuff
Callie.
after.
Feel free to say hi to her. She loves hearing human voices. Those are her ears. Now, Callie was the first rhino we've got born here in 1986, and she's now a mother and grandmother. And the reason why she's sitting in the mud wallow is she's endeavoring to protect her skin. It's a common misconception that the rhinoceros
Oh, look at
are
her.
related animals. Not the case, folks. They actually have very thin, sensitive skin.
Kelly.
Needs a lot of protection from the sun and insect bites, and mud puddles or mud wallows, as we call them here, do provide that protection. It acts as a bug repellent, the sunscreen, cools off the rhino, and cleans them all at one time. Now, folks, we definitely saw the mud and we definitely saw the rhino. One more thing to talk about, and that is the significance of the rhinoceros.
Ella es nacida aquí también.
The horn of the rhinoceros is very different from that of a goat or antelope. It is not attached to the skull. Rhino horn is made from compressed keratin fibers, the same material that is found in fingernails and hair. Although rhinos are a potential issue, like bleaching the stomach fur, rhinos are killed for their violence. Some people believe that this horn has special medicinal powers. It is also used as an ingredient in some traditional Asian medicine. And the rhino horn is also prized in some cultures for making dagger handles.
All right, folks, if you'll direct your attention to this large view in front of you, you're going to see a tan deer along the fence line to the right. That was one of our hog deer. Now, the hog deer get their name from their stature and behavior. They're short, squat, and heavy like a hog. And instead of leaping
They're in
over
the bottom.
things like their deer counterparts, they can
They're over there in the fence.
slow and
You
run.
see one over there?
I see, which I think is quite fitting. They act a lot more like a hog than they do a deer. Now, in this enclosure, folks, we have several types of deer, as well as a species of antelope. But one of our Mongolian large horses, I think they've all migrated to the right as well. Which, again, no problem at all. We're going to catch up to them in just a moment. Then you may be noticing that some of our trees are wrapped in wire. The reasoning for this is to protect the trees from the deer and antelope in this enclosure who use the bark for nutrition, so they'll eat it, and also use it to clean their antlers. Now, this is problematic behavior because if a tree loses too much bark, it can become ill and die. So what we've done here at the zoo is we've animal-proofed our trees by wrapping it in wire, but made sure to use wire that was a similar consistency to bark, so the animals can continue to perform their daily functions without harming themselves or their own functions. Another thing to be on the lookout for will be some very large, dark chocolate-colored deer. Those will be the sandbar deer. The sandbar deer are the largest deer in southern Asia. They stand about 5.5 feet at the shoulder and weigh about 650 pounds. I think I got a pretty good idea of where they are hiding. So we're going to be approaching a muddy stream in just a moment to the right-hand side. It's actually a runoff from our rhino exhibit. If you guys will look north of the stream between the two fenced-in enclosures, you're going to see our sandbar.
Yeah.
¿A dónde? Oh, yeah.
There they go, guys. And there's some more hog deer line on the fence line to the right. As well as a couple more hog
míralo
deer
ahí.
to the right here.
¿Lo ves? Sentado. Oh, están en la esquina.
Fence line. Now, way in the backdrop, they were actually toward the beginning of the exhibit. I just saw that there were our Nilgai antelopes, the largest and fastest
Those are the ones that ship up
in
the
Asia. They run 40 miles per hour. Right now, folks, we are in the realm of the Chinese tufted deer, which is a very small
Chinese deer.
species, weighing
Yeah.
at only 40 pounds fully
Chiquito.
grown. Now, folks, I will warn everyone, when the temperature is over 50 degrees, we have a very hard time finding these deer. They do not like the warm weather, and if you can believe it, we actually have 10 in this enclosure. They're all hiding in plain sight. So you may not be able to get a good look at them. Chinese tufted deer get their name from the tuft of hair that grows out of the top of their foreheads and covers up their antlers. And instead of being quiet, as we tend to think deer species are, they will bark, whistle, or even growl, much like a dog, when they feel stressed, threatened, or endangered. with you folks, so we didn't get a good view of the Chinese tufted deer. They were hidden pretty well, but if you peek through the trees again on the left-hand side, you're going to see Patty and Maxine. Can't hide an elephant.
Where?
And in just a moment, we're going to be the highest elevation point on tour, 35 feet over the Bronx River. If you guys like to take pictures as much as I know I do, we're going to have a great photo opportunity directly in front of us. Now there's a snapping turtle to our right and a couple of carp.
Oh, mira, el agua. Tortugas.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's a big one.
Yeah, y pescados también.
Y un
Mira esta tortuguta.
Now,
Yeah.
this rough and rugged terrain
Ahí
is
sopa.
perfect for an extreme animal, both of whom are species of the wild goat. If everyone looks straight back along the big
¿A dónde?
rock there, you can see one of our markhor, as well as to the fallen log on the right-hand side. The markhor are the national animal of Pakistan and are the largest goat species in the world. They have